They have been pressuring the Iranian nation, the people. Their sanctions have been economic terrorism. Under current circumstances of the coronavirus spread, the sanctions are health terrorism.
Rouhani said Washington's move to bar the International Monetary Fund's coronavirus loan to Iran is another aspect of the U.S. health terrorism against the Iranian people. He further said the Donald Trump administration has time and again asked for talks with Iran. Rouhani stressed that Tehran is not afraid of negotiations but will not get involved in a stunt that does not resolve things. He said sanctions should be lifted before any talks could take place, and there should be no preconditions. Political commentator Jason Unruhe joins us now from Ontario. Mr. Unruhe, welcome to the program. Walk us through the recent comments made by the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. He says he's rather called the U.S. efforts to impede any form of assistance to Iran during the coronavirus as health terrorism.
I would certainly agree with that assessment. I would also add that it's blatantly cold-blooded murder. What we're looking at is people who are sick. I mean, this is not like what the United States has claimed in the past, where it was only wanting to sanction certain individuals in the country to target the government or target only the military sector. This is very clearly and deliberately targeting the innocent people of Iran. Well, Iran's innocent in general, but this is very clearly targeting the civilian population, which the United States on multiple occasions has claimed that it is not doing. This is going to lead to people to dying. There are many countries across the world that have had to take out loans in order to be able to deal with this pandemic, which was not planned for in anybody's balance sheets whatsoever. Even countries like Israel have had to take out loans in order to deal with this situation. Everybody does. What the world is engaged in is an emergency, and this is the United States very deliberately hindering the right, healthcare, the right of every human being to be able to see a doctor, to be able to receive treatment, to be able to be treated with basic human dignity, being hindered by the United States, purely and strictly for their own political imperialist gains. This is about trying to foment unrest inside of Iran. If enough people die from COVID, in their view, it will create some kind of uprising demands against the government to do something when they very clearly are trying to do something, and it's the United States that's hindering it. Well, this is a deliberate attempt to destabilize society in order to foment the very age-old regime change strategy. It is something that is completely unconscionable. This should not be an issue that is politicized in any way, shape, or form, but that is something that we have seen very much out of the U.S., having this entire COVID-19 pandemic politicized by both sides of the aisle for political gain, while people continue to suffer. And it's about time that the international community, not just the West international community, but everybody get together and denounce this, put an end to it. The World Bank needs to finally stand up to the United States and say, no, this is not an issue that should be politicized. This is the life and livelihood of innocent people, and we will stand up and give whatever it is that Iran needs in order to deal with this pandemic.
Jason, when you mention the issue of politicizing the global pandemic, that brings up a very interesting point here, and that it's obvious that the fight against the coronavirus is a global effort. If the United States is impeding efforts to quell the spread of the virus in different countries, in the bigger picture, it's also hindering the overall battle against COVID-19 on a global scale.
Yes, everybody agrees that in order to stop a virus, everybody should wear a mask. Everybody should get a vaccine in order to tramp down this disease. And nothing unique to this disease. The same thing for mumps, polio, every other kind of virus or disease that has existed throughout the history of mankind. This has been how you do it. And the fact that the U.S. is deliberately leaving a door open like this, the same way the Saudis are leaving a door open for this inside of Yemen, is doing exactly that. They are maliciously, deliberately letting the disease spread. So this isn't just an insult to the dignity and humanity of Iranians, but this is an insult and an injury being caused to every country around the world that is responsibly trying to do something about this illness. Even those who are not trying to act responsibly, this hinders them. It damages them as well. And the United States simply does not care, because this is about politics. This is about imperialism. This is about trying to harm Iran for building peaceful, cooperative relationship with countries across the region when they would prefer them to be under the domination of U.S. capital and U.S. Military might. And frankly, it should be seen by the entire world, the World Bank, even the International Criminal Court, as nothing short of attempted murder. Well, at this point, it would be considered murder, considering how many people have been denied the proper access to healthcare in order to deal with this pandemic. If this isn't putting the world in jeopardy, then what is?
Political commentator Jason Unruhe joining us from Ontario. Thank you for your comments.